Hola, ¿cómo estás? Yo, guys, welcome back in today. So it's funny because I missed this. I don't know how I missed this. I guess I can't keep up with everything in the world like I thought I could. But there is a new vice president, which is a black woman from Colombia. And so I guess what was around June or July, I think it was maybe like late June, they had elections in Colombia. I'm so funny, I didn't even hear anything about this. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just doing a thousand things. I'm trying to keep up with the whole world, and it's sort of hard to keep up with the whole world. But Gustavo Pedro won as president, and Francia Márquez, if I'm saying that right, has run as vice president. And she's the first black president or vice president ever to exist in Colombia. So it's really interesting. Her backstory is really interesting. She comes from a province, I can't exactly remember what province, but she comes from a province that is a poorer province, one of the poorest provinces in Colombia. And there was actually, she's an environmentalist, so she loves like taking care of the environment. She's an advocate for the environment. And I don't really know exactly how she got into it at the beginning, but there were gold miners, if I'm correct, or some type of miners in Colombia, and they were mining in her area. And this land is predominantly and heavily Afro-Colombians, and that's their land. They've been there for a long time now. And so she actually won a prize, if I'm correct. She won an award for helping to keep away these miners from this area, and now she's a vice president. So it's really interesting, like I said, because I knew nothing about this. I heard nothing about this, and I thought it was interesting because I don't really know if a lot of you guys watching are actually going to even know that this even was a thing. Because a lot of people, I personally feel, when it comes to like North America and, you know, everywhere in North America, Canada and America, you don't necessarily really hear too much about Central and South America. I mean, you maybe do when it comes to like wars and stuff like that, or like when it comes to violence. But, you know, they never really tell you, outside of maybe YouTube, they never really tell you about like the good sides of Central America, South America. It's always just like when there's something bad. And it's funny because there's a lot of places that are really, really, really nice in Central South America. And there's a lot of good people there as well. And a lot of normal lives that are happening. And a lot of people that are living their best life. But also there's a lot of poverty as well, just like there is in other places. And so it's just interesting to see this because, you know, it has to be something like this. I feel like, especially in the States, for you to actually hear about Colombia or really any Central or South American country, to be quite frank with you, unless it's like they're trying to sell some type of trip or resort or something like that. But, you know, that's not really like on mainstream TV or like that. It might be at certain hours, or it just might be on the internet for the most part. So anyways, she's a big advocate for that. Now, she says when she gets into office, right, she's trying to advocate more for women and how women are treated. Maybe not necessarily in, well, probably the whole country, but maybe not necessarily just in the major cities, but more so in like the rural areas or the outskirt areas, sort of kind of like the province and village that she comes from. It's funny because, so she's vice president, right? The president, he was running against another guy. Another guy predominantly used TikTok and like social media to win his campaign, or, well, I'm sorry, he didn't win, but try to win his campaign. And I think he lost. He was like 47%, and then the new president now was at 53%. And what makes it more interesting is now the vice president, she actually, to my understanding, was never in politics, was never into anything. And then she won off of how she felt, the things that she did, right? And throughout the community, especially in her province, in her village, right? Trying to like keep minors away from that area and that land. And also how she wants to advocate for women. She wants to advocate, especially for Afro-Colombian women and Afro-Colombian community men as well in general. And that garnered her popularity amongst her community and amongst other communities, and then she won. So I thought you guys would just find this interesting. I don't really know that much about her. I just found out about it quickly, and it just sort of kind of blew my mind that I never even heard about it, right? I don't necessarily know if she'll hold up to everything she's saying she will do or wants to do once she's in office. I don't, who knows? Maybe she will, maybe she won't.